Hey, what's up, everyone? We're going to do an audio check, and then we will get started. Waiting for the other screen to pop up so I can silence it, and that way we don't have any echoes in the background. So we'll wait for that. Again, audio check. I know a notification just went out. That's on the phone. So there we go. Make that quiet. Ooh, an ad already popped up. That's interesting. All right, get that down. So back over here. And yeah, so hopefully everybody, audio's good. Okay, Scott, awesome. So we're gonna wait a minute, let some people get in here. There is definitely a delay between StreamYard and YouTube. It's gotta be at least 10 to 15 seconds. It feels like it's so slow. But yeah, so welcome to the live stream Q&A. If you guys are new to the channel, this is where I do a live stream every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You come in here, ask your questions, and members usually get priority, stuff like that. But I tend to get to pretty much everybody, and I try to go as quickly as possible. And yeah, so I plan on going for about an hour tonight. But if the questions dry out or run out or whatever terminology you want to use, then we're going to end the stream there. But let's see, any announcements? Not really. No major sales going on the website. You guys know that I did one last week, I believe it was. And so, yeah, there's no major sales going on. Everything's pretty much the same. Thanks for all the support on the 3D printing. I know that I talk about 3D printing a lot because it actually became a pretty big part of my business. It accounts for about 1/3 my total sales, and it's pretty successful. So I have been working on the 2 new printers all afternoon. I actually got one done. And that's it. I got the frames together for both, but I got one done, and it's definitely a lot of work. So hopefully we'll be able to have 3 more printers up and running. Give me a total of 7 that will be working around the clock to get those orders out because, yeah, we're a little bit behind schedule right now. So, yeah, if you put a 3D printing order in within the last 72 hours, you're probably going to have to wait a week for it to be processed. And, well, hopefully that will change, and I'll have these printers up by Monday. And it won't be as bad. So we'll see. But other than that, I think that's it. I can't really think of any other announcements. Looking around. Nope. That's about it. So we're going to get started with some questions, see what's going on here. See how many people we got going on. 30 at the moment. And we'll see what's up. All right. So, Scott, you're good? Okay. Hi. Do you know when Hannah Checker for nitrate will be released? It's already released, isn't it? I swear to God, I've been seeing people buying it. Let me check here. Because I see that there's notifications where you can put in to have it when it gets back in stock, but I'm almost positive. Oh, it'll be out on the 21st. Okay, well, I'm seeing notifications here that you can. All right, so you can sign up for it. All right, so the 21st, huh? Yeah, I haven't even put in a notification. I will have to look into that at some point. But yeah, so thanks for Gabe for answering that question. 9/21 of 2020, I guess the nitrate checker will be out. All right, Oscar reminds me of Oscar from the Office. But anyway, I just want to thank you. Have you seen your videos and helped me a lot with setting up my new reef tank, all equipment to make life easier? Thank you very much. Hey, no problem, Oscar. There's a lot of videos. Hopefully you guys are running through those. I know there is, if you guys are looking for a specific topic, you can go to my channel and you could type in, say, dosing or nitrates or cycling or sump or whatever. It should bring up the videos from what I'm told based on that. Or you can put in, or in the search, you can put in fish of hex and then put in whatever you're looking for, and it should bring up the video. I try to have keywords associated with each one to make it make sense for when you guys are looking for them. But given there's like 670 videos, I think. I don't know if you guys can see all of those, but yeah, so it makes it difficult for you guys finding stuff. So I get that question quite a bit. So just put that in there. You should be good. But here we go. Matt, hey, what's up, Hex? Hope all is well. It's doing pretty good. I just got a breeding pair of snowflake clowns. Do you have any advice on culturing rotifers? Love the new stuff you're locking up. Keep up the amazing work. Thanks for your help. Okay, so when it comes to culturing them, I have not done it before, but I do know that phytoplankton definitely plays a role in that. You're gonna have to do a little bit more research on that. I've never actually gone down that route. But from how popular it is, it can't be that difficult. Of course, make sure things are sterile. But yeah, you're gonna have to do a little bit more research on that. I'm probably not the best person to help you out, but yeah, sorry about that, man. I've been hoping to see the Senai holder. Is it okay? Is it on the horizon? Any luck working on that? So the holder for the Senai Reef, the 3D printed item, yeah, it's on the list of things to get. I just, Gabe, I gotta get around to doing that. So I'm gonna write it on another list because I have like 3 different lists here. So I'm gonna add that now, just so maybe I will catch it a little bit earlier. But the way things work when it comes to creating stuff is I get people sending ideas in all the time. It just has to work with what I'm currently doing and how long it's going to take to create it. Obviously, easier things like the DI packer and stuff like that. That stuff is relatively easy for me to create. When it comes into like custom power head holders and magnet mounts and all sorts of stuff that you guys ask for, it just takes a little bit longer. The Senai Reef holder should be relatively easy to create. Basically, it's just a box, and you have the clips that it's going to clip in, and then you have the angle for the handle, which I'll have to create that as well. So it shouldn't be too bad. Now that I have the bigger printer, I could probably get away with making it all in one piece. So we'll see. Yeah. So I'm gonna add that here. Senai Reef. I'm gonna again holder. So hopefully I'll get that out within the next couple weeks, but working on it. What's up, dude? Love your content. Hey, man, appreciate the support on that. Yeah, I definitely do. I know that I'm not putting a lot of stuff out lately, but if you look back at some of if you've been here for a while, you guys probably, I don't want to be repeating myself over and over again. There is a reason why I'm not putting a lot of content out, and hopefully that will change down the road. All right, so what salinity checker do you recommend? I use the Milwaukee. I've been pretty successful with that. I do calibrate it every once in a while, usually every 4 or 5 times of using it, I'll recalibrate it. I know you don't need to do it that often, but the Milwaukee's been pretty good for me so far. I did use the refractometers for a while, but what the heck did I used to call them in my old videos when I didn't know how to pronounce it correctly? What the heck did I call it? Oh, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. It was really messed up, but it's funny, though. Well, I got a lot of shit for that. But, yeah, that's just how the internet is. Available for pre-order. Yeah, the HANA checkers, the nitrates. Yep. Jason, just wanted to thank you for the 4 SPS branching corals. First time ordering from you, and everything went very smooth. And so far looks good. Thank you. Hey, no problem, Jason. I'm pretty sure I replied to your email regarding parameters. I'm almost positive that was you. There are, you're probably not the only Jason, but I'm pretty sure I got back to you on that. Yes, emails. Yeah, I might as well say that now. If you guys send questions in via emails or you're looking for a response, most of the time I save my emails for the evening, like around this time when I'm done with the day. I will try to sit down and knock out emails. But if you don't get one in the morning or or early afternoon, you'll probably get one in the evening. When it comes to like order stuff and DOA and anything like that, I try to get to that stuff in the evenings before I crash. So just keep that in mind. All right, Jason, thanks for the videos. Travis, just curious, why don't you ship with freshly made salt water instead of your tank water? I would think that would keep your tank more stable. Okay, let me reread that again. Just curious, why don't you ship with freshly made salt water instead of your tank water? I would think it would keep your tank more stable. Yeah, freshly mixed salt water is not as stable as tank water. It'd be like taking the coral, putting it in water that it's not used to, or the parameters might not be exact. So say the freshly mixed salt water is at 9 DKH and I'm at like 8.5 for some reason. Okay, so not only is the coral going to get shocked going 1 DKH increase, but then it's going to sit in that container with limited oxygen, no flow. It's going to get bounced around, temperature fluctuations, possibly depending on the time of the year. And then it's going to go through all of that and then go into somebody else's tank. Same thing. Fluctuations in water parameters, stress from all that. If I use that is just too much stress for SPS. So I mean, if I was shipping Zoers or something that didn't really matter, then it would be fine. But yeah, I don't think that. I think I'd rather deal with the instability in my tank and struggling to keep nutrients where they're at than shipping in freshly mixed salt water. I think that's too risky, and I just don't think it's going to work out very well for the coral. So that's my opinion on that. Next one. I'd like to thank you for your straightforward answers and recommendations. I'm getting back into the hobby after 13 years of being out of it. Hey, welcome back, man. Yeah, I try to be. I forgot who it was who said that I'm an acquired taste, but there's a lot of people out there that don't mind my personality, and that's why you guys are here. So, yeah, I tend to just get to the point, get it done and over with, because we all have other things that we got to get done. So, no reason to beat around the bush. I was gonna do a dirty comment, but I don't think that's. I don't want to get demonetized quite yet. And some people are speaking of that. A lot of people are leaving comments saying, "Oh my God, there's a million ads on the channel, on these live streams." Well, this is the thing, guys. I can't control how many ads. I can't tell you how many numbers. All I can either do is be approved for ads or not approved. So if you see one of my live streams that has ads on it, that means I was pretty good during that stream and it didn't get flagged. So, yeah. I can't control how many ads there are. I guess if they feel like really hitting me or hitting you guys with them, they'll end up putting 20 or 30 on there over an hour, which I do apologize, but it's definitely out of my control. I can't do anything about it. I can only be good enough to even get ads in the first place. That's I struggle enough with that. So, okay, Alex, what are your thoughts on carbon dosing, vodka, no pox, etc.? Okay, so I think carbon dosing in general is a band-aid to a solution that could be fixed other ways. You got to think, what would be the reason why you would dose vodka or no pox in the first place? Increased nitrates and phosphates, correct? So what I would focus on more than dosing those things, yes, they work as a temporary solution to get the levels down. Okay, I understand that. But your main goal would be to find the reason why you have excess nutrients in the first place. So you have high nitrates and phosphates because you're overfeeding. You have too many fish. I mean, we've gone through this a few times. And I probably will stop saying that because there's a lot of people that are new to the channel. But anyway, you got to find the original source. I think vodka, no pox, biopellets, not carbon, but GFO. Those are all things that are Band-Aid solutions. They don't fix the main source. All right. So, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. I don't think you need to do it if you can find the real problem or the flaw in your system. Hey, what filament do you print with? I print with 3 different types. Well, for my FPV stuff, I use more of a flexi filament, but when it comes to the stuff you guys buy, it's PLA and PETG. Moving down. Hey, Travis, what do you think about keeping a display tank in hypo until the fish are added and then raise it after several months? I don't think you should do that. I think there's easier ways. I think you should just have a quarantine tank, quarantine the fish as they come in, and then go about it that way. I'm not really sure the scientific terms or the how much beneficial bacteria is going to be killed off in hypo versus regular salinity. Of course, there's going to be a difference in bacteria. So I would just keep it at the normal 1.025, 1.026, and then if you want to have a quarantine tank with hypo, then yeah, you can do that. But yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I'd pass on that solution. At least I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But if you want to try it, shit, man, it is your reef. Starting to sell some frags. How do you know how much to price? Well, you look around, man. You kind of see what other people are selling them for. I'm not going out there and undercutting people. I try to stay around. There's a few things you got to take in consideration. Okay, so we'll back this up. So if you're importing coral, say you're getting it from a transshipper from another country, you're bringing it in, you're cutting it up, yada, 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 and you're paying for that coral, then yes, you got to calculate your price based off of, say you buy a colony for, $100 and you get, 10 frags from it. Okay. So you essentially paid $10 per frag, right? So then you're going to want to make a certain amount of money based on your, what you're paying for shipping, as in material wise. If you're covering any additional expenses, you got to cover your overhead. If you have employees, whatever you have to, that all has to go into what you sell your coral for eventually. So usually most people will up it by 2 to 3 times what the frag actually cost them. Again, if you had $100 colony and you got 10 frags and you got $10 a piece, then you would sell it for $30 or $40. That way you can cover what you get. Most people do that. For me, it's different because I grow my own coral. Essentially, it does cost money for upkeep and keeping the tank going and general maintenance and all stuff. But I can get away with selling my corals a lot less than what most people have. And I've had people complain that I sell higher end stuff for a little bit less. But again, at the end of the day, I grew it myself. I get to dictate the price. My overhead is me and, salt and general stuff. And, there are things, well, my overhead isn't crazy high either. So that's why I can get away with selling $20, $30 frags of SPS that are generally 1.5, 2 inches long, because I can get away with that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that got to go into it, but just see what I said previously. Just take all that stuff into consideration if you want to start selling it. But at the end of the day, as long as you're not losing money, then you're fine. Sell for whatever you want. Yeah. Oop, that one always scrolled all the way down. I'm reading your guys' comments, man. I appreciate the support. Definitely do. All right, having trouble keeping SPS. Tank is only 6 months, but parameters are dialed in. All other LPS and soft corals are doing great. Tank age just not mature enough? SPS slowly fades. Frustrating as fuck. Any suggestions? I don't think tank age doesn't mean anything. A lot of people tell you the more mature the tank is, the better off you're going to be. If you guys have been following the 300, I cured the rock for 3 months in a bin, and then I added it to the tank, filled it up with tap water, waited a month before I added my very first SPS, and it's been downhill since then. So tank age doesn't really matter. As long as it's properly cycled, you're good to go. Now, if your corals if your LPS are doing fine, soft corals are doing fine, but your SPS is fades slowly, as in turns pale, dies off, maybe turns really dark and kind of goes away that way. It sounds like to me that you have a nutrient imbalance. So usually in tanks that are doing well, like with LPS and soft coral, that means you usually have a little bit excess nutrients. So maybe your nutrients are a little bit too high. You might want to check and see what got you going on in there. If you have any algae growing in the tank, your nutrients are already pretty high. So another thing you want to look at is light. Do you have high enough PAR? Again, LPS and soft corals don't require nearly as much PAR as SPS to be successful with good coloration. Again, you want to be between that, be a minimum of 250, 350, 450 is pretty good. Any one of those ranges are pretty good for SPS. Yeah, I would say check your nutrients and make sure you have enough light. And if you're not, then you might want to fix that. So that's the only thing I can think of, man. If those two things are in check, then go ahead and throw out an ICP test. Maybe you got something in the tank that only the SPS is reacting to. Wouldn't hurt to check that out as well. So, next question, John. Travis, did you transition your saltwater hobby into a full-time job? And if so, hats off to you for doing something you enjoy. Yes, actually. My saltwater, the selling coral is my full-time job now. I do still work weekends for a private investigation company. I still do that. I've worked for them for many, 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 many years, helped build the business, and I still help them out on the weekends. Not really I enjoy it, but I fucking hate people, so I don't really like dealing with people. So, yeah, I like the job where I can stay in the basement all day. So I'm a hermit crab. But yeah, so saltwater, the selling coral part is essentially the full-time business, but I have also added different aspects to the business. So I have one-on-one Skype calls, consultations I do with that. I did have client tanks, but I've since COVID and that kind of stuff, I've just stopped doing client tanks. That wasn't the main reason. It started happening before that, mainly because I didn't have the time that I needed. So now I have the coral, the 3D printing, which accounts for about 1/3 of my sales. And then I have supplements, my own supplement line, of course. And then, the Skype calls and stuff like that I do every day. And I don't know what else I have. I have other shit going on. There's always something being added to the list. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, different avenues. A lot of things that I've looked up before I started the business and just, started working in general, was looking at people that were successful. What did they do to be successful? Well, they didn't just do one thing. They did a whole bunch of things and brought it together underneath the same, umbrella of a business. So that's what I decided to do is, the 3D printing. I kind of just fell into that. That just is ridiculous right now. I can't even explain how crazy that is. And I just I got a whole bunch of different things that I liked, and I brought them all together, and now it's definitely a full-time job. It's actually such a full-time job that I need at least 2 full-time employees to allow me to have a life. And that's not even a joke. So, yeah, it's good. And, we'll see how it turns out. Got big plans, but if it's meant to be, it will be. Yes, I had the brittle starfish in my shipment, but was a vial of clear water for that vial was dip. If you look on the DOA instructions, there's dip acclimation instructions as well. I always send Coral RX dip with all my shipments. So now, yeah, I send usually in Coral shipments, I'll send you a keychain, 3D printed keychain, Coral dip, and then your corals, obviously. But yeah, I do have these little brittle starfish. They're pretty cool. I've had them forever, man. They're not bad. And they just eat detritus. They're pretty cool. I have no issues with them. They tend to go in on some shipments. I'd like to brush them off every once in a while, but usually I miss one here and there, and they come in and people are like, what the hell is that? It's just a brittle starfish. No big deal. They're good guys. Hi, Travis. Last order I purchased from you 2 weeks ago is doing well. Frags are clean and healed. Color and polyp extensions soon after dipping and placing in the tank. We'll order again very soon. All right, no problem, man. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm actually surprised the shipping's. I did upgrade to those new ice packs. You guys have seen them. I get them from Euroline, and they're called Colder Than Ice, and they seem to last a lot longer than the traditional ice pack. So I've been having some really good success shipping in this hot weather. Still can't wait until it gets cold though. But yeah, it's pretty good. Thanks for the support on that. Ooh, let me roll down. Scotty boy. Here we go. Next question. I haven't tried any acros yet in my tank. I do have some bird's nest and montiporas. What do you recommend my first acro? I was thinking a PC Rainbow. I would pass on a PC Rainbow. I think maybe a staghorn of some sort would be your best option to try out. I know that green purple tip stag that I have on the website is very popular. People really like that stuff. Green Slimer's a really good beginner stag. I say staghorns because they're naturally a little bit more hardier than their millies, and the PC Rainbow's fine. But you're going to get more coral for the money you spend if you go staghorn. Yeah, so I recommend doing that instead. You talked about buying more Ender 3 printers. Have you looked at the CR30 first? I haven't looked at anything, man. My printer setup now is it's so advanced that I don't have to do anything. So I built those 4 printers in March. Pretty sure it was March. And I have done zero maintenance for the exception of tightening up one nozzle head on one of the printers. And they run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have zero maintenance. They're on Octoprint. At this point, if I want to print something, I just go into Octoprint, click on, because I have everything set out in folders. So I just go and click, make sure the filament's the right color, the right type. I just click print. It automatically levels. It does the whole 9 yards and prints it and spits it out, man. I don't have to do nothing but clean the base. The way I have these printers set up, you can buy the Ender 3 for like $250 right now. I think I just bought these two the other day for like $239 a piece. I know they were like $300 at one point, and then I dropped $800 $700 in upgrades into each one of them to get them to the point where I don't have to do anything. All I can do is click a program. It does all the work for me. And there's virtually no maintenance. So at this point, I would have no need to look at any other printer just because of sheerly how perfect these are now. And I say that because they are literally perfect. I don't do nothing. They're awesome. So, but yeah, maybe down the road, I've been talking to Scott. Our printer farm's probably going to be upwards of 20 or 30 printers at some point. If we don't need it, if we need more than that, we probably will. But it's going to be a designated room with all the good stuff in it, and hopefully our printer farm will be busy bees. I'm sure it will. Moving down, buddy. Thank you for everything. Really appreciate your channel. I'm printing a small shroom box to leave some toadstool frags in to attach to rubble. I'm printing in PETG. Is that reef safe, correct? Yeah, that's fine. That's reef safe. Hey, what's up, Travis? I'm a big fan of Brazil. Thanks for the content. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yo, Glenn's here. What's up, Glenn? Okay. Reef Junkies, how accurate is the Trident compared to the HANA alkalinity tester? Well, I tested yesterday. The HANA checker said, let me look here. What the hell I had here? The HANA checker said 8.6 in the, sorry, not the HANA checker. The Trident said 8.6 and the HANA had 8.8. So it's close enough for me. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it said like 9.5 or 9.8 or something, I might be a little concerned, but that's pretty close. They've either been dead on with each other or just a little bit off. At this point, I'm not too finicky about the number itself. I'm as long as it's within the range, an appropriate range between 8 to 10 usually is what I stay in right now. But it's more of a consistent number. That's what I'm looking for. It's not so much the actual number itself. It's just how consistent that number is. And that's what I tend to focus on. Fish effects. You make a bristleworm traps? I don't. I guess I can add that to the list. Bristle worm trap. I'll look into it. Hello from across the pond. Hey, what's up, Rich? I just got my 2,000 gallon in. I'm building my grand entrance staircase around it. Excited, man. Yeah. Joker's got money, man. That's awesome, dude. Send some pictures whenever you get done. You got my email address. You ever get it done, man, send me pictures. Not if you get it done, but when you get it done, send me. Alcatronic versus Trident. Never used Alcatronic. Trident seems to be fine. No issues with it thus far. I've never calibrated. It seemed to work out fine. Hey, what's up, Travis? I'm looking forward to getting the feed portal. I am at my in-laws' house and drinking heavily. Gonna be in and out of the stream. No problem, Glenn. Yeah, I actually I was going to print them in multiple colors, but I decided that I'm just going because of surely how long it takes to print them because I'm really doing them in fine detail because I am creating the screws for that feed port, and I need it to be perfect. So I just print them in black. It's easier, and I can just make them. I just have a designated machine that takes care of them all the time. But yeah, those feed ports are pretty exciting. Are pretty cool. Had a subscriber send me a picture of one and said, "Hey, can you make this?" And I did. So it worked out pretty good. Okay. Wanting a cucumber to clean the sand. Some say they're risky. If it does, your thoughts would be needed in top cleaner. Well, I don't. I mean, you can use a vacuum cleaner or not vacuum cleaner, like a vacuum when you're cleaning it. Just a general cleaner for the sand. Never had one before. I don't know the risk associated with the cucumber. I don't know. I know that they are ugly looking. So that's about it, man. I never had one. I can't give you any opinion on it, Robert, but there are easier ways to clean the sand bed, to be honest. Do you ever sell clicking? There we go. Do you ever sell frog spawn or torches? I used to. All the Zoas, the torches, the hammers, the Duncans, all that stuff that I had about a year ago will be back after we relocate. I've mentioned this before. Scott from Roscoe's Reefs coming on full time, and that's going to be one of his babies. Will be the imported system. So we're going to have the setup that I currently have, just much bigger. So we're going to have, instead of 500 gallons, we're going to have 2,000 to 3,000 gallons worth of setup in the house, and then we're going to have a separate building. It's not a very big one. It'll be kind of like a shit shack, but it'd be enough to fill a bunch of, put some bigger totes in there, and that will be the imported system. So we'll have a separate system that will be having all that stuff, Zoas and all that crap that you guys really like that I don't like in my system. So the new setup for me personally will be nothing but sticks, and easy SPS will go up in the 300 upstairs. Everything else is going to be nothing but sticks. Not doing any kind of encrusting Montipora, not doing any Zoas, not doing any LPS of any kind. I'm actually building a separate tank for that Lobo that I have. It'll be by itself. That tank itself will have its own little LPS. It'd be kind of cool, little display tank. But other than that, it's just sticks all the way through because I've ran into issues with Zoas growing over my acros. And remember, this is a forever tank, so I have to plan forever. So just going to put corals in there that I know that are not going to be an issue long term. So, but we will have the imported tank, and you guys will be able to have all that good stuff again down the road. And I'm looking forward to it because I miss selling Recordias and torches and 8 cans, all this stuff. I mean, all that easy stuff you guys are really liking. So I'm looking forward to that at some point. I would do it now if I could, to be honest with you. But I mean, I really would. I can't. I don't have any fucking room. I really don't have any room. Nothing. What's up, guys? Okay. What do you think about a Melanoris wrasse in a rimless tank? Wrasses in a rimless tank, I would put I never had my wrasse jump out. So But to be safe, I would put a screen cover over it and buy one of my feed ports for it. There you go, Brandon. I'm just saying, I'd put a little screen cover over it, man. I wouldn't mess with that. But hey, man, yeah, I would do that. I was going to do another joke, but I don't think that's appropriate. Yeah, we're gonna move down. Will the bacteria in my coral QT tank survive if I turn off the heater when there aren't coral in it? Room is around 70 degrees. Probably won't get new coral for a few months. Yeah, you're fine, dude. Don't worry about it. You're good. As long as it doesn't freeze, you're fine. Hey, Travis, I recently set up a 90-gallon tank, and I find mixing 1 5-gallon bucket at a time annoying. How long can a full brute trash can sit being fully mixed? Okay, well, it depends on what the brute's made out of. As long as the plastic's appropriate for reef tanks, you should be fine. I do have a video on that somewhere, but yeah, I mean, I have water sit for probably 2 weeks right now. I mean, on average, like 2 weeks, I keep a bin full of water because I replace water when I ship coral. So, and I haven't had any issues with that. I had a client that used to keep it for a week and was no issues at all in a brute trash can. So, yeah, I know. I mean, get a bigger tank, bro. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I mean, a few weeks should be fine. I don't foresee any major issues. If you're worried about it, you could always let the water sit for a month or so and then do an ICP test with that water to see if it picked up anything. I mean, you can consider doing that. But I think a couple weeks you should be good. I don't foresee too big of an issue with that. But yeah, I could see how a 5-gallon bucket at a time could be pretty annoying. What you could do actually is have a water storage of just RO water, and then you can have it. You could fill up a 5-gallon bucket when you're ready to make water, mix that, and then be good. And then just keep the water, RODI water, on tap, so you're good with that. Food for thought. Hey, Travis, do you recommend adding a substrate to a refugium? You don't need to. I have sand in mine because I don't have sand anywhere else, and it does hold some beneficial bacteria, does help process nitrates, and add a little bit color to the refugium. But yeah, you don't have to. If you have sand in your tank already, you don't really need to put it anywhere else. Miracle Mud, I mean, I've heard people have good results with Miracle Mud, but then again, you got to change it out, and we're looking at long-term success. With sand, you don't really have to change it out. So yeah, you don't need to, but you can if you so choose. Have you ever tried buffing out scratches on glass? No, I have not. I heard it's a pretty easy process as long as it's not too thick. They're too deep, the scratch. I've never done it myself. You should do a shirt, nothing but sticks. Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, do you want to talk about your brother named Brandon again? No, I'm good. I appreciate it though. Hex, about to start cutting my own frag soon. Can you use bone cutters to frag frog spawn, or do I need a Dremel saw? All right, I would not cut any kind of LPS with bone cutters, mainly because depending on where you cut it, it has a chance of fracturing the actual skeletal base. So if you try to cut it, there's a good chance you'll fracture all the way up to the mouth and could kill off the coral head. So use a Dremel tool or a bandsaw, appropriate one with a diamond drill bit. But yeah, your best bet is use a Dremel. It's just not worth it. I mean, unless you got really thin, easy to break pieces. But other than that, you're not going to want to do it. Trav, can you 3D print me a brute trash can? No, I cannot. We are going to have some bigger stuff soon, but not a fucking brute trash can. And you wouldn't want to pay for that filament anyways. that'd be ridiculous. It'd be funny to watch, though. Hey, Travis, how did you start the cycle of your 300? Usually do shrimp in a bag, but curious what you did or if the same. I actually cycled or cured my rock 3 months in a brute trash can prior to even setting up the tank. So it was Pucani, so it was naturally already pretty dirty. So I put it in a brute trash can, 2 of them, or not trash can. They're big barrels. They're big, like 50-gallon drums. And then I just added salt water, heater, and a pump. I have a whole video on it. It's one of the first videos on my 300-gallon playlist. And I let the rock run for 3 months. I did 50% water changes on it every couple weeks to remove excess nutrients and detritus and stuff like that. And that was it. That whole process was the time it took to build up the beneficial bacteria, which is the same as cycling your tank with a shrimp. But I did it that way. It was, in the cans, again, because it's Bucani, so I can get rid of that excess nutrients without doing what's easier, doing a 25-gallon water change, which is considered 50% essentially, or trying to do a 50-gallon water change or a 100-gallon water change, or in my case, it would have been a 150-gallon water change, removing the same amount of nutrients. So if I was to do it in my main tank. But yeah, that's what I did, cycled it, and it worked out pretty good. Travis, Gallery Aquatics Australia sells bristleworm traps. They don't ship to the U.S. I've never heard of it. Let me look it up, man. I've never heard of that bristleworm trap. Let me see. Ah, okay. I see what they're doing there. It's just like a box with a hole narrowing, and it goes in there, and it gets caught, and it can't get out. Oh, I see. That's pretty easy. Yeah, I'll look into that, man. That didn't seem too difficult to make. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll try to have something out soon. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. It's all basically the same concept. Yeah. All right, man. Give me like 48 hours. Give me till Monday. All right. And then if you don't see anything on the website by Monday, or on Instagram, just fucking email me, remind me. But yeah, your jokes are never appropriate. Yeah, they're not. That's why I don't say them anymore. But yeah, so we kind of came to the end of the question so far. We've been going for 36 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. If not, then we're gonna peace out. But yeah. But yeah, bristleworm trap. I will work on that. I'm gonna write that down. I might. You know what I do? I will mess with it after the live stream tonight. It's really not a hard concept. I'll work on it and try to get something out. Just look out on Instagram for the prototype pictures and let me know what you think. Hey, Travis, does the temp matter? Let me click on this over here. Hey, Travis, does the temp matter when you cure cycle rock? I try to stay as close to what you're going to keep your reef tank at, because beneficial bacteria, first of all, beneficial bacteria grows quicker when it's warmer. So that's why I try to stay around the 79 degrees, because I feel that it does produce the beneficial bacteria a little bit quicker. So when you're trying to cycle, that's going to be perfect. So try to stay around where you're going to keep your tank. I mean, there's no reason not to do that. What's up, Trav? Starting a new bare bottom, needs some cleaning. Clean Chaeto algae barn is out of stock, but they do have sea lettuce in stock. I've also heard some people say it gets pests from it. Well, any macroalgae that you get, if it's not for me, then you should probably quarantine it in the first place. Sea lettuce sucks, man. I tried to grow that crap before. It just turned to mush, regardless of my nutrients. I didn't like it. So it's either Caulerpa, if you can get it and you're not in a coastal state. I don't know if it's legal to have it on a coastal state. I'm not really sure all the reasons for that. That's why I don't ship it. Or you can get Chaeto. But yeah, if you're not getting it from me, then I would quarantine it in its own little tank to make sure you're not getting any, because Aiptasia likes to stick to Chaeto. It just does. And there's other pests associated with it. So yeah, that's about the best advice I can give you for that. Honest review why Radion, Kessel, etc. are so expensive compared to LED boxes. 165 watt you can get on Amazon. I mean, just paying for the name. You're not paying for the name. No, there's no way, Robert. I've grown SPS underneath the 165s, the SP Reef Lights, the Aquamars, the Mars Aqua, whatever the hell it's called. There is no comparison on the spectrum, the controllability, the spread, the way the colors blend. You're paying for what you're getting what you're paying for when it comes to Radion and Kessels. I'm sure they can be a little bit cheaper, but it depends on the manufacturer. And yeah, there's probably a little bit of a name associated with it, but take it from me, person who's grown SPS underneath both types, or actually all three lights. Yeah, you're getting a much high quality light when you're paying for a Radion or a Kessel. There's no way around it. You're getting a much better light overall. Plus customer service is better. Warranty stuff is better. Just, you're getting a better product. So that's my 2 cents on that. What type of salt do you use? I use Fritz Blue Box. I said Ritz, man. I'm fucking thinking of crackers or some shit. Fritz Blue Box. I'm actually going to be selling that stuff soon. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it before I leave or not, because I just buy it at a I buy 40 boxes at a time, and then I just kind of calculate the shipping and all that crap into the price, and we'll see what's going on. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting it up on the website, because a lot of people ask what salt I have, and it's just easier to put it on the website and ship it to you. So yeah, we'll see I'm waiting for Fritz to get back to me on that. We'll see what we're going to do. Plus, I got to be able to find a place for 40 boxes of salt down here, and it's not looking too good. So yeah, one of many reasons why I can't wait to freaking upgrade. I'm just kind of stuck. Do you think an algae scrubber would be better? I guess this is associated with a previous question. Okay, so that was regarding the sea lettuce and the pest. Algae scrubbers, they work. Just get a good brand. The only brand that I've ever used did not have a good experience with them, and then you guys can see my videos on that. Legally, I'm not going to say anything else other than that. But yeah, I usually go all natural with Jado. That's what I would do. Budget. What are good lights to grow coral? Well, you can grow good coral underneath. I mean, you can grow coral fine underneath the SP Reef lights and the Mars Aquas. I mean, they're capable of growing coral. They surely can. But I've grown coral a hell of a lot better underneath Radions and Kessels. I mean, just look at the tanks. The difference between the 125 and the 300. I mean, it's night and day, right? So I just realized I have a ton of verminted snails in my tank. Do they actually hurt anything in yours? I'm considering bumblebee snails, and I hear mixed reviews on just about any method for removal. Okay, so in my experience with the SPS, and I've got a ton of hate on this, which is normal, but I told you guys how I got them originally. After quarantining the Big Lobo, I still got them, even quarantining it. A micro baby verminted turd or whatever got into my tank, and I ended up getting them. For me, they've never been a problem. But again, I run fully SPS. If you're running zoas and soft corals and stuff like that, they're probably the streamers might be a pain. But again, I've never, ever had a problem with them killing a coral. They've grown through the skeletal structures of corals before, and then you snap them off. But that's about the extent of it. I've never had one actually kill or cause any damage to a coral that I've known, that I've actually realized and known. As for the bumblebee snails, yeah, if you only have a few of them, you might get away with bumblebee snails. But verminted snails are kind of the pests where you probably just start the whole damn tank over. And those are the main reason. The verminted snails are the main reason why, even when I quarantine that Big Lobo, it's still not going into my main system. Because I've already proven that quarantining in 3 months is still not enough. Going through the whole process of quarantining that Lobo still wasn't long enough. I still got them. So I'm going to avoid any of the issues, because unfortunately, if a verminted snail ever pops up in the new build, then I'm starting that bitch over. So I'm not playing those games, man. Again, even though they don't do anything, I can't say my coral's 100% pest free, because there are verminted snails in the tank. Do they come in on the coral? No. They grow on the skeletal structure of the coral? No. Is there a chance you might get one on a frag plug? There is, but it's very, very slim. But I want to be able to say down the road with the new setup that it's 100% pest free, and verminted snails are just not on there. So yeah, so it's your call. If the tank is new and doesn't have crap in there, I would start the tank over. New rock, new everything. Just start the tank over. But if it's established, you're starting to get them, then manual removal is a must. And I would also get bumblebee snails to see what you can get. They work. They can work. Sometimes they work, but they are ridiculously expensive. Even if you buy them wholesale, they're still pretty expensive. So, yeah, I hate those damn things. I hate them so much. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. This question, Jessica. Hey, Travis. We have been dealing with bryopsis outbreak in our 32-gallon bio cube. Our local fish store recommended raising magnesium around 1,700, but I've heard that fluconazole is good for eradicating anyway. Oh well, you can do it either way. I've had had people get rid of it by increasing your magnesium to 1700-ish, 1800-ish, and it was fine. And I believe it might have been Mike who got rid of it. Mike Lemon got rid of it with fluconazole. I'm almost positive it was him. So if you don't like adding a bunch of weird chemicals to your tank, then do the magnesium route. If you don't mind the fluconazole, then go ahead and use that. But yes, the magnesium, it will essentially take care of it for you. Oops, here we go. Hex, how many gallons and what dimensions is the next build lighting pumps? Well, the main Peninsula display tank downstairs will be 10 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot, roughly, tall or high. So that will be the main Peninsula tank. And then the 300 is going to go upstairs and kind of like it's going to be an in-wall closet kind of situation behind it. So I am going to keep the 300, which will plumb down into the main display. And then our main display sump. And then I'm going to have 5 to maybe 10, depending on how big the room is, of 8 foot by 2 foot by 1 foot high frag tanks. I'm going to get some water here. Some water. So that will be the Acropora system, the SPS system. And then the imported system will be approximately 1,000 gallons in another building. So, but as for lighting, we're going to be doing about 20 XR30s over the new display, the new Peninsula tank. We're going to do XR15s over all of the grow out tanks or frag tanks, and I'm going to keep the same lighting setup that I have currently over the 300. I will be adding T5s somehow to the new Peninsula tank. I haven't decided yet exactly, but there's gonna be a lot of lights, and I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. But I know it's gonna be nice eventually. It's gonna be, that build's gonna take a while. Of course, we are building a house, so that's gonna happen, and then the whole business and everything's gotta kind of get transferred over. So that build's gonna take a while, but that's okay because I'm not in any kind of rush. I will have a separate setup to sell coral out of. It'll be a temporary setup. I'll do a DIY sump, and then we'll add a couple low boys, and I will continue to sell coral out of that system while the other one's being built. It's just kind of, we'll see how it goes. What is your favorite Zoa? I don't really have one. I'm not a Zoa fan. I don't know. I don't really have I don't find Zoas to be attractive. I don't really care too much for them. Travis, anyone, have you tried the BRS controller and heaters, or your thoughts on the best heater? I've always used a Cobalt Northern, but thought about the titanium heaters for the new build. Well, right now I use the Phoenix without the built-in thermostat. I use those with the Apex to control them on and off, and I haven't had any issues. The only issue I have had with the Phoenix is when I tried using one in the imported system. I forgot what wattage it was, but it ended up electrocuting me. So it might have just been a faulty heater. I sent it back and had another one come out. There was no issues with that. But yeah, I've never used a BRS controller with heaters. I've not done that yet. Dry rock mixed with live rock to start a tank? Sure, you can. I'm not a fan of live rock. I know you get a lot of beneficial bacteria and microorganisms and all that good stuff, but you also have a chance of getting some very bad things with live rock. And and this is live rock from the ocean. I'm not talking live rock from a tank that's already established. I'm talking directly from the ocean. So I would avoid it if you can, but hey, if you can get it, if you want it, you can. I wouldn't do it though. What do you think about the hybrid T5 LED setup? Not happy with my growth, just the Hydra 32. Well, the 300 has 8 T5 bulbs and 8 XR15s. And that thing grows coral out of the water. So I like it. I'm going to continue with it. What power you set Radions? I have a video on that. I have a whole video on AB Plus Spectrum on the 300 gallon playlist. You can check that out. Any reason that you stopped dosing Red Sea Trace colors A, B, C, and D? I have a calcium reactor now, and I moved on to some other methods. So, yeah, I just don't use it. I have no reason for it. The calcium reactor seems to take care of a lot of those trace elements. Plus, I'm dosing fuel and a whole bunch of other stuff I have on one of my dosing videos. So I don't have a need for it. I found other methods of getting those elements. David put up here. Get down here, super chat. Thanks for super chat, man. Beers on me. Keep up the good work. Keep being yourself. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it, David. I don't drink, but I will definitely use that for food because I love to eat. So I'll do that. But I appreciate it, man. Thanks. Oh, let me get down here. What would you recommend SPS corals with color fading? I have followed your NO3 dosing and also your now Acropower. Well, if the colors are fading and your nutrients are in the appropriate range, that means that your nitrates are between 3 to 5 ppm and your phosphates are between 0.07 and 0.15. Then if your nutrients are where they should be and you're still fading, you want to look into your color. I mean, your lighting. Do you have enough PAR? You're too low, and usually if you have too much light, they will turn, I guess the color will fade more of a whitish color because the zooxanthellae is being expelled from the coral itself because it's too bright, or vice versa, they kind of wither away because they're not getting enough light. So check your PAR, make sure they're in a good range. Usually 250 to 450 is what I recommend. People stick around for SPS, and you can get away with a lot higher, and you can get away with lower. It's just not going to grow very quickly. And you guys know I'm all about growing SPS as fast as I possibly can because, well, bracken hands because it's my job. So so I would check out that first. If your PAR is in a good range, then consider doing an ICP test. Maybe you got something going on in the water. It doesn't hurt. I do one every 3 months, regardless of what's going on with the tank, just to keep. And by the way, I got the notification from them to do that today, so I will have to send one out. It doesn't hurt to see what's going on in the tank. It really doesn't. But other than that, nutrients and lighting are the two main factors when it comes to SPS coloration. Also check to see if there's any pests. I've been having some issues in my 300 with my poison ivy coral. I checked it out at process of elimination. I started losing color on it. I'm like, okay, well, every other coral in the tank is fine. Why is this one not doing well? And then I looked at it the other night, in the middle of the night, like 1 a.m. Can anybody guess what was going on? I had 4 emerald crabs butt fucking each other on my poison ivy coral, just picking the skin off. So needless to say, I went emerald crab hunting the following day, and they're in another tank right now. So yeah, my poison ivy looks like it's been chewed on, which it has been. So consider looking to see if you got any pests, or not pests, or I guess you can consider pests. I don't know if you quarantine your SPS or not, but check it out at night. You might have somebody on there pissing it off. But let to get this yawn out. Damn, 51 minutes. I'm already yawning. All right, I just ordered a 4-stage RODI from BRS. I'm planning on running it from my garden hose spigot. I'm concerned if I'll get enough pressure to the system, and was wondering what PSI and TDS in and out you recommend. Okay, well, the TDS in doesn't matter because everybody's TDS in is going to be different based on wells, city water, all that good shit. TDS out before the DI. So the 4-stage probably doesn't come with DI. So the TDS out should be no higher than 10. I usually rock around 3 TDS out. That's how you know when you need to start changing out your filters, is when your TDS out goes too high. I usually change my TDS out around 15 to 20. And then, because at that point you're just burning DI resin when you too quickly, you should go ahead and start changing out your main, your main filters and all that kind of stuff, your carbon, your pre-filter, and your RO membrane when you're TDS out. So say you got 350 TDS going in, or let's just say 150 would be more common, and then you're looking around under 10 out into the DI, and then of course out of the DI you need to be at 0. There's no way around that. So you have to be at 0. Now, when it comes to the TD or the pressure PSI, I think I'm at like 70 or 80. And I used to run dual membranes. I don't run dual anymore. I'm not using enough water. But they recommend between, I think, 55 minimum for a single membrane. You're gonna have to look what the manufacturer recommends for that particular RO unit. But I think 55 is the minimum you can get. If you're not running 55, then you're gonna need to put a booster pump on there, so you can get a good pressure. If you're not at the right pressure or in the correct range, the filter's not gonna work efficiently, and you're just gonna be wasting money. So those are things you got to look into. Okay, you have many AI LEDs, I think. How's the longevity? Thinking about a Hydra 16, but seeing several red light issues on YouTube. Well, I never had that one before. I have I have the freshwater version too, but I have 4 saltwater AI primes, and then I have the freshwater version, and I've never had a problem ever. I've never had an LED die on an AI prime, and these are the older ones, by the way. This isn't the new version that came out. I've never had an issue with the LEDs dying or any kind of intensity problems. That always worked out. So I mean, it's your call on that one. I have pineapple sponges. Are they good or bad? Am I doing something wrong? No, you're doing something right, Jason. Pineapple sponges are an indication that your water quality is good. So you want to have pineapple sponges. So don't remove them. Leave them alone unless they get out of control. Then you can remove them. Because I have another sponge that kind of morphed from a pineapple sponge to this crazy taking over my tank sponge, which I've been removing, but it's kind of gone away now. But yeah, sponges are a good thing. Sponges mean that you're doing something right, so keep up the good work. Using Radions for my new build. When I started using Radions, my corals definitely took off first using the AI primes. Yeah. I mean, you're getting a little bit more par out of the Radions too. Yeah, for shallow tanks like I guess what's this? A BioCube 32. I think is the biggest tank I'll put a AI prime on. Anything bigger than I'll go Radion. Have you put your Radions on Mobius and any issues? Never even used it. Never used it. My Radions are currently on the WXM module. Haters kind of hate, snitches get stabbed. Yeah, I guess. Man, I have more haters than you can shake a stick at. I mean, how many dislikes we got already? Oh, I did have one. He took it away. Oh, anyway. The reality is there's haters all over the place. No matter what you do, I could be on this channel, praising Jesus all day long, and somebody will still come on and say something awful. I mean, when you put yourself out there, no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like you for whatever reason. And I have plenty of reasons why people don't like me. I got a whole Instagram full of reasons why people don't like me. You wait until hunting season comes around, you guys start seeing dead deer all over the place. So, I mean, I got a million reasons why people don't like me, but that's okay because I'm not here for the people who don't like me. If somebody doesn't like me, they're going to come in, they're going to realize they don't like me, and they're going to unsubscribe and they're going to leave. For the people who stick around, that's what I'm here for. I mean, I'm not interested in anybody else who doesn't. They don't want to be here. They don't want to be here, man. It's free country, free world for the most part. You can do whatever you want. All right. Hey, man, small water changes a couple times a week, 3 to 5 gallons for a 100-gallon system, or 25-gallon water change once a month. Well, it depends on what you're using the water change for. If you're just using it to strictly swap out water, then yeah, the 3 to 5 gallons is fine. A couple times a week, yeah. Or if you're using it to remove detritus like I do, then yeah, you're going to want to do that all at one shot so you can siphon out as much detritus as possible. It really comes down to what you want to do with it, Mark. Have you ever heard of 6ix9ine snitches get bitches these days? I heard the story on it. I think I don't know, Mark Dice or somebody was talking about it, or maybe Crowder was talking about it at some point. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I did watch the parody video of him and I think it was Nicki Minaj. They were doing their rap video together, and somebody did like weird sound effects in the background. I saw that. That was pretty funny. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's about the extent of that for me. Hi, Travis. Have you done the skimmer off at night for nutrients just to Dr. Tim's recommendations? No, I don't turn my skimmer off at night because I already struggle to keep my pH elevated at night. I get an Apex alarm every single night. I wake up every morning with like 10 or 15 messages from my Apex every single morning about the pH being too low. There's nothing I can do about it, man. I have the skimmer plumbed outside. I tried the Airstone, didn't work as much. I mean, it worked a little bit, but it wasn't really, man, it didn't work that great. Didn't justify keeping it plugged in. And then, of course, I have the calcium reactor dropping the pH down. So, yeah, I get an alarm every night. Not an alarm. I get a text message, and I'm like, all right. So, but if I turn my skimmer off, it'd be stupid. It would be really bad. I mean, my pH. Let me see what my fluctuation was last night. So last night I got down to 7.72 in my tank. And then right now it's at 8.02. So I'll be lucky if I get 8.1 ever. Let me look at my graph here and see if I ever got to 8.1. Let's see if we pull this up so you guys see it. 8.1. So on average for me, this is average for me. So I'll drop down to like 7.74, and then throughout the day 8.04, up a little bit high. And the only time my pH ever stays elevated is if I'm not home. if I'm out like camping or something, get this damn video back up. If I'm like camping or something, the pH is perfect. It stays above 8. It's freaking happy as hell. But as soon as I'm down here, and it doesn't work out. So yeah, that's the way it is, man. So yeah, turning it off for nutrient issues, I would not do that. That'd be a problem. One of my Prime HDs has a failed UV diode. I just don't run the UV channel semi cheap lights. Yeah, I never had that problem, man. I mean, not that I know of. I mean, I don't look dead. So I'm moving in a couple months and want to switch from sand to bare bottom. Will that be an issue? No, it should not be an issue. Just set up the new. Are you using a different tank, or are you just putting everything in bins and then lugging it over? In that case, if you're just putting everything, Tom, if you're putting everything into bins, then what I would do is when you set up the new tank, of course, you're going to put the same rock back in there, all that good stuff, the same fish, yada, yada, yada. I would watch the feeding for a couple weeks, as in, still feed, but feed minimal amount of food. That way the beneficial bacteria can adjust to the current population of fish and, understand that that sand was providing surface area for bacteria. You're not going to have that anymore. So you have less bacteria to produce that can process, fish shit. So just make sure you give your tank some time to adjust and feed sparingly. Maybe feed every other day, just a little bit of food, enough for them to be satisfied. And then, just let the tank adjust. You should be fine. Oh, do you get annoyed when people ask questions that could have been answered with 23-second Google check? No, I don't get annoyed. I mean, that's what this is for. This is a Q&A. You guys can ask whatever you want. If you don't ask questions, the Q&A stops. So, I mean, if you want to ask a simple question just to keep me talking, then yeah, I don't mind about that. But there will be a point where I'll just end it anyways. So we'll see. We're already at an hour, so I'm going to do a few more minutes and we're going to be done anyway. So, but yeah, I don't mind the same questions. The one reason I hate Travis, he's ugly as hell. Yeah, you have that, man. It's fine. You make sacrifices. You're ugly. You have a huge dick. You're good looking. You got a small dick. I just like to be. I like to be on the good spectrum of that. Nobody cares. The lights are off, so I'll take being ugly. Moving on. There we go. Demonetized. Was that my first dick joke? And it took me an hour to get there. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put in the reasons why you hate me. That's interesting. All right. Is it okay to send pics of my acros via email? No idea with the names of my SPS. You can, but understand there's probably going to be a little bit of a turnaround time on that. I usually don't get back to emails unless they're order related or something along that lines. I usually don't get back to them right away. The turnaround time could vary on that. That's about the best answer I can give you. I like to promise people that one-on-one time, that interaction, but that's very difficult. I mean, I got probably, 80 messages unread from Instagram right now. So yeah, and I don't do that. I haven't done a Q&A video in a while, like the pre-recorded one, because they kept getting demonetized. So what's the point? So we'll see. Finally caught you live. What days and times are you normally live? It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. I might throw in an extra live stream every once in a while. If I'm like cutting up coral or I'm doing something random and I want to bring you guys along, then yeah, I will. I'll give you guys that that live stream. But yeah. So this is like my 99% chance that I'm going to put content out will be on this live stream every week. It's just because I don't know if I'm going to get a video out otherwise. So, but I will promise you guys, if you stick around, once we relocate and Scott's on full time and I have, other people helping, I will have more studio time. I'll have more time to be able to, if I don't have the day-to-day to deal with, I can create content. I can make these videos that I want to make, and it won't be such an issue. Right now, it's not a possibility. And if I'm going to make a video, so say I make a video now and I don't, and it gets demonetized or I getting issues with it because, I said woo flu or some shit in that video, then yeah, it's it's not worth making it right now. But down the road, when I have somebody doing the day-to-day and I can just burn time by making content, yeah, I can make extra content. But until then, you guys are getting 2 videos a week, roughly. So that's about it for now. What products do you still recommend for QTing fish? And I can only find Prezi Pro and the Coopermine online. I forgot the name of the other bottle, but wouldn't find it. Well, that's all I use. I use Prezi Pro and Coopermine. That's about it, man. That's about it. I used to use a probiotic, but they don't sell it anymore. So I just use Coopermine and Prezi Pro. Not at the same time though. I usually do 2 weeks of Coopermine, and then I get them, put a little bit of carbon in the tank, get the copper level down a little bit. Then I do the Prezi Pro for 2 more weeks while they're kind of waiting, giving us that 4-week quarantine time. So we're going to answer a couple more, and then we're done for tonight. Let's see what we get here. My profile pic is sexier than Travis in real life. That's true, man. You look like Randy from the Trailer Park Boys with a girl haircut. But hey, man, the gun's nice. I'll give you that. It's funny. I'm just scrolling down, try to get to another question real quick. Yeah, dick joke number 1. That's right. Hey, man, I've had Chaeto in the sump for about a month. It's dark green, and it looks healthy, but it's not growing. I have Kessel H380. The par at the surface is about 490, NO3 10, PO4 0.8. Yeah, I mean, it's probably growing. You're probably not realizing it. I wouldn't worry about it too much. If it's dark green and it's not dead and it's not mushy and it doesn't look like little strings like mine does right now, you're fine. So won't sweat it, man. You seem to be doing fine. I know we talked a lot about your stuff. I think you're good, buddy. I won't worry. You got to respect a guy that would answer general reefers questions each week, no matter how mundane. Yeah, man. Hey, I don't mind, dude. This is my opportunity to interact with people, and that's about it. This is my interaction, and then my daily call with Scott. I usually bullshit with him for about an hour every day. But yeah, I don't get out much. I can't wait for things to kind of change and life goes back to normal. I mean, I didn't really go outside before in public. But it'd still be nice not to feel like I can. But hunting season's coming up soon, which in October, you guys will be lucky if you see me on a Friday. I'm just playing. No, I'll be here unless I get something on a Friday night and I can't get home in time. But I'll let you guys know. But I'm really looking forward to that. I just everything about it. I've been riding a bicycle, like a mountain bike, a lot too lately. I've been doing that. The boys and I have been doing a lot of riding. And mainly because I'm going to be using it for commuting for hunting. So really like doing that, especially in the evening when I can do a little bit of scaring the deer while I'm out there. But yeah, moving down. X, what's your compound bow setup for this year's season? What's the make and model? So I have the same bow as I had last year. I have the Hoyt Hyperforce 2018 Hoyt Hyperforce. This year I have the Borealis sight on there. I got ABB platinum strings, red, white, and blue as usual. Oh man, I got a 580 grain arrow right now. At Easton Axis 5 MMs. I'm pulling 82 pounds, and it's ridiculously fast. It's so nice, man. I just freaking, I mean, to give you an idea, I miscalculated my range the other day. Oh, I mentioned this before, and I shot through a 2x4 at 100 yards. Just went through it. I was like, Jesus, man. So, yeah. So try being at 20 yards. I am shooting Rage broadheads this year as I did last year. If you guys saw the deer I put up last year, man, that Rage broadhead, freaking just no chance, man. She didn't feel a damn thing, dude. She was gone. So I'm gonna shoot Rage this year, but I'm shooting 12 more pounds than I did last year. Better stabilizer, better sight. I mean, this Borealis sight is ridiculous, man. It's got the built-in rangefinder up to 100 yards. So I range it. It has a 20-yard pin built in. So you pull back to draw. You draw your bow. You look through the peep sight and you range 20 yard with the 20-yard pin. You hit the range button, and then what it does is it gives you a drop-down pin of whatever yards based on your angle, the weight of your arrow. All that stuff's calculated already, and then it just gives you a perfect pin. It's freaking. It's not fair. That's all I got to say about it. It's not fair, man. I was shooting uphill at 92 yards the other day, and I was still in the 10 ring, man. I mean, it's not fair, dude. It's real nice. That's a shot I would never take without that sight. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm pretty excited, man. Doing the is it Python? Whatever. It's the tree saddle, tethered tree saddle. I got their new model. It's a Python. I want to say it's that. It's P something. So I got the new saddle set up this year, a new bow bag, so I can carry it on my back when I go in with the bike. I got climbing sticks that link together, so we'll go up 20 feet with that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty new setup, but it's nice, though. It's real nice. Enough of that. Let's go and move on. There's a whole bunch of questions that came in while I was rambling about that. Appreciate the support. I'm just reading. I am reading what you guys are saying. I'm just not putting everything up on the screen. I think that's it. I think that's it for tonight, guys. My eyes are starting to get all not want to be in front of the screen anymore. But all right, guys. So that's pretty much it for this live stream. I will put up a notification probably Monday for next Fridays. As for videos this week, I'm not really sure exactly what content I'm going to put out. I'm sure I'll come up with something. I do have a list of things. I just got to be able to sit down and make it. But look forward to having some kind of video out Tuesday or Wednesday. Monday videos, or unless I make it on a Sunday, there's no way you're getting a video on a Monday. Not happening. If you want to support the channel, head over to fishofhex.com. There's a ton of 3D printing stuff. Again, there's a little bit of processing time until I can get these other printers up. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Peace.